La la la. Hello, everyone. I just feel like I always say that. I love it. I don't care. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast, The Dark Price of the Spotlight.
Your music edition.
That's right, music industry edition. My name is Tatiana Liary. I'm a Latin artist. I've been singing since I was 11 years old. I sing salsa urbana. You already know. If you don't know who I am, please go to TatianaLiary.com and you can find everything of what I do, of what I've done. And next to me, I have the legend.
Hi, my name is Judah Crombie. I'm a Latin singer as well, and it's all about the culo,
That's such a
baby.
lie.
I'm just kidding. No, but I would like to get a little bit tanner to look more like a Latin musician because I think they're a lot better looking than me anyway. Well,
Oh, no.
Florida sun, it does a good job.
That's funny.
Yeah, but tell us what you do. What if there's somebody that never heard of this podcast?
Music producer, lover of music in general, big time networker. I like to get together with like-minded folks and do fun things like this.
Awesome. And then, of course, we have off camera another legend, Illa. Tell us about you.
What's up, guys? I am a music producer, songwriter. I have my own studio. My credits are Netflix, ESPN, and much more.
Boom, boom, boom.
Now he doesn't want to say the whole thing, so
How
he
many
doesn't
mics
make us
can we
feel
drop?
bad.
I like to keep it short. You know.
Okay. If you want to know all what he's done, you can just check the first episode when he mentioned all of them, which is great. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. First, I want to tell you thank you so much for the support that we've had since we started this podcast. This is our 4th episode, so I'm super excited. Please subscribe, tell your friends about us. If this is the first time listening, the purpose of this podcast is to talk about the controversial topics and things that most artists are afraid to talk about, or just the controversial topics in the music industry. So yeah, most of my experience has been in the Latin industry. So today's episode, we're going to address the influence of money in the music industry.
Oh, man.
Yeah, which is a lot. So first, let's talk about how much money music contributes to the economy of the U.S.
Don't tell me yet. Let's guess first.
Let's guess.
All right.
You got it written down already? You already know what it is?
Yeah, I already know.
Okay.
How much do you think? You cannot... I actually talked to him about it.
She already told me.
So yeah, he can know.
But what about you? What do you
Appreciate
think?
you being honest. How much does it contribute to the economy every year?
Of the United States.
Of the United States. Okay.
Only in this country.
Yeah.
Only in the... Okay, I'm going to go with 36 billion.
36 billion? Okay.
It's probably more. It's probably
What is
more
it?
like
Do you
100
remember?
billion.
You probably don't even remember what I said.
I actually
You can even play.
So so 36 bill.
Is it more? Is it less?
I feel like that's a lot.
In the music industry? Seriously?
All right, let's go 50 bill.
All right, let's talk about this. So Robert Stoner and Jessica Dutra from The Economist Incorporated prepared a report on the music industry's contribution to the U.S. economy. The report finds that the music industry creates $170 billion in value annually to the U.S. GDP, which is the gross domestic product, and it supports 2.47 million jobs across a wide range of professions.
Wait, how many jobs?
2.47 million jobs.
I'm not too surprised now that you mention it, because if you think about it, the music industry represents a huge part of our culture.
Yeah.
And as you guys know, culture is everything here in America.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy?
Yes.
And it says that there are 236,269 music-related businesses across the country. And it's kind of like very interesting. And just like you can make a lot of money in music, because you can, obviously, if you're very successful and famous. If not, you might be a
Struggling artist.
A struggling artist, yeah. But just like it makes money, it takes money to try to get there. And that's what we're going to talk about, how it literally, well, in every business, I think you need to invest before you can make some profit. But I feel like in the music industry, it's such a hard career. And I get this question all the time. Not even a question. They come up to me and they're like, man, why are you not super famous? You sing so good. I don't understand. And I feel like the average listener of music, they don't understand the business behind it.
Yeah.
And they don't realize how hard it is. And it's not just talent or you sound good or I think it's all about the money.
Well, it's about the money for sure. But if anybody ever asks you, why aren't you famous yet? Well, I think you didn't sell your soul. That's number one.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
You're not going out doing all those favors for all those people in high places. Number two. And number three, you probably
I'm not rich yet.
You're not rich yet. And you probably don't do what we're about to talk about, this whole pay for play type of thing.
Right. So that's another thing that we're going to talk about. But I wanted to talk about how expensive the music industry is. So I want people to know the things that cost money because it's not free, right? So let's put it like this. I do salsa urbana, right? Which is a little bit harder because if you think about it, like we said in the last episode about AI, it's very hard to copy salsa. And if you want it not digital necessarily, and you want real good quality salsa, it's going to have a lot of instruments, so that means you have to have the producer, the arranger, and then you have to pay each musician to play your tune. So that's a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, studio time, which usually is by hour. And things like that, it's just a lot of money that it takes to do that. Then you have mixing, you have mastering. That costs a lot of money. Then the song is finished. Okay. Well, you have also the background vocals. Because usually, in salsa, you have what we call soneos. And the soneos is basically you have background vocals kind of like giving you like a chanteo, like a little, chorus here and there. And then you're ad-libbing, like you do ad-libs on top of that. That takes money too because you have to pay people to sing those choruses,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
So, it just takes...
And then the music videos, if you want to put a legit...
Yeah, I'm not even there yet.
Yeah.
That costs money. So once you finish the video, you have to put it in the digital platforms. Now, people think that, that's free, No, there are different distribution companies, like CD Baby, DistroKid, and all these companies. They all charge for their services, they have different prices. And then what? Then you have to do, like you said, the music video, which it can range for a low budget one from $1,500 to $5,000. It could be up to $10,000 if you're like famous and want to do like a crazy one with helicopters and all these stuff, because you have, you got to pay for location, models, dancers, anybody, right?
Yep.
So I know I did 2 music videos with little budget or no budget. Do you remember that, Illa?
Yeah.
So this is real. So if you want to go to my YouTube and check Nectar, let me tell you what happened with Nectar. So we did the song and then COVID hit. It's 2020. Everybody's unemployed. And I was like, I want to still put music out there, So I went to downtown Nashville and I filmed half of my video there. And you can check out Nectar. It was all completely free. And then I heard about this it was like a hospital, and the parking lot had very nice graffiti on it. So we went to the hospital and we recorded in the parking lot.
That sounds great.
And if you look at it, it looked pretty good. Yeah. And then we edited it ourselves. So
I saw it and I approve. I think it looks great. You guys do a really good job, and it's very innovative and creative. So absolutely.
Yeah, and it was 0 budget, guys. 0 budget. So when there is a will, there is a way. So that was one. Then we did Y Ahora Me Llama. Remember Y Ahora Me Llama?
Yep.
That one is
that one had a little bit more of a budget.
Yeah, right? That one had a little bit more of a budget because we rented this location in Nashville for like $150, I think it was per hour. I can't even remember.
How many hours did we do?
I think we did like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
So it had a little bit of a budget, but not much. And we edited ourselves too. Illa was my model.
Of course.
That's right.
I can totally see that.
Yeah, in Estoy Pa' Ti, he was my model too. Well, he was kind of like the bartender, which is kind of funny.
He could be every part.
I'm a man of many talents.
Yeah, you see, sometimes, and for tablita, I use my friends because thank God I have really hot friends.
Yeah.
I mean, my good friends.
I mean, you got us too. I mean,
right?
Next music video, count us in. I'll play every part.
Yeah, you want to be my next model?
I'll put a wig
You got to take off your shirt though.
Yeah, so. tank top, everything.
So I have done many things like that. So it's a lot cheaper, to be able to do these videos, because at the end of the day, for me, the most important thing is the marketing.
Right.
And the marketing is actually very expensive, promoting your thing out there. Yeah, you can just do social media, but if you don't have a super big following, you want other people to hear your music, you're going to have to promote it and marketing it, right?
You can only get so far just social media organically. You're going to have to do ads, things like that.
Do you guys do your marketing for yourselves most of the time?
Well, we do, but I also have publicists sometimes, because the truth is major artists do publicists. So basically, so most artists, they use publicists. And what they do is that they put you in different magazines, like if you have an album that you want to promote or a single, newspaper, digital articles. I mean, they do promo tours, which is promoting your new single in TV stations. They can promote in red carpets, things like that. So the job of a publicist is actually very important.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
But publicists, just a quick question here, just a clarification. So will they create just like a from scratch whole marketing plan, like including ads on social media and stuff like that? Or is it more so just those tours, promo tours?
It really depends what your package say. So you might be able to do a meeting with a publicist and he can be like, okay, let me listen to your music. I think it would be really good if we do the first week going to like Miami tour and do a press in all TV stations there. Let me do a press release in all of these newspaper. Once people get to know you, we do like a little showcase here, and we tell people to go and see you live and things like that. And then for the rest, you might have a part of social media, because that's actually the cheapest. Like some publicists charge just for social media and stuff like that, and that's actually not as expensive as promo tours and things like that, which is very expensive. It could be $1,500 to actually a lot more. You can pay $2,500 to $5,000 a month for the publicist, and they literally tell you a month is not enough. So you will have to be there like 3 to 6 months to see kind of like people
results and stuff.
Results. So who has $5,000 a month like that just to give it to a publicist? And it's not counting music video. It's not counting your music. And then this is only for one song, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Or
unless, 1 month. $5,000, not including the music video, not included. Yeah.
Right. And it's just, I think it's the best way because they have their connections. I think publicists are so good. And I have been blessed to have amazing publicists out there that I could use if I choose one, because they're amazing. It's just having the money to pay them where it's struggling.
So if I made a song, my own song, and I'm like, I need a publicist, and let's say I do like the bronze package, right? Like the low end. They'll market, and it's just for one song, or is it for the artist?
Whatever you're promoting. So if you're promoting the song, it can be a movie. It depends what you are, but in this case, it's music.
So it's going to be a single, it can be an album, it can be a movie.
It can be the artist itself, right?
What do you mean?
Like, say the guy, say I'm like, I want a publicist to just promote me as an artist, and I'll, for a concert or whatever it is.
You can do that, but it's just hard because for them to put, like, they're very good strategically, right? They're not just like, okay, give me the money and I'll put you out there. No, like if you are nobody, right? You're not famous and you're like, hey, I need you to promote this concert. They're going to be like, people don't know who you are. That's not going to work.
Right.
So they're going to want to tell you, let's just do the first 3 months, put you on social media. Let's try to get you on TV. And they do these things for you to actually be successful, because otherwise it's their name.
Right.
At the same time. So I think that's very good to use a publicist, but a lot of people don't know that. And then it's just funny sometimes when I see artists or even new independent artists saying, oh my gosh, thank you so much for putting me on this magazine. Thank you so much, I don't know, Univision, Telemundo, whatever, for having me. It's a publicist's job to put you there. There is no way they got invited unless you're really successful and big that they want you to be there.
Right.
Otherwise, they don't even know. They're just like, oh, who am I interviewing? Who's this Tatiana Liary? Oh, she's saying here, and they get like a breakdown of what you did, and then they interview you. But they don't really know. They didn't invite you, really, unless you're actually big. Of course, if you're Ricky Martin, you're promoting.
Right.
So of course they want you to,
So they paid their way to be there.
Well, not
They
necessarily.
pay their publicist to make it happen.
Correct.
Yeah.
They pay to. That's why the influence of money is so important,
Mm.
because if you don't pay these publicists to be there, you're not gonna get there
Right.
unless you
Unless
have
you're
a
Ricky
big
Martin
right
or
or,
big guys.
yeah, you have a big following, you're trending, you're viral.
Yeah.
Then they might be like, oh, this is the next person that's gonna blow up, let's bring her to TV. Otherwise, no, guys, everything is paid to a publicist. The same with red carpets, you know. A lot of, you know, sometimes like the Grammys and things like that, they just want the nominated people to walk the Grammys.
Right.
But if you are a good publicist and maybe you have a lot of influence, they can actually, you pay them a lot of money, and then they can put you and walk the red carpet. You know, so that's why it's so important to use a publicist, and that's it. Very important. It's just very expensive. So a lot of people didn't know this. See, and it's just a lot of money. So funny story. Let's talk about payola, which you talk about a little bit, which is pay for play.
Oh, okay.
Right? So obviously back in the days, the radio stations were really important because that's where everybody was going for you to be able to promote your music. Now we have social media and stuff, but radio stations are still a big part. They do events, they do all these things. People still listen to the radio, believe it or not, especially depending on the country that your music is being listened to.
Right.
Right? And things like that. So for everybody that doesn't know what payola is, it's basically in the music industry refers to the practice of giving or receiving payment in exchange for promotion or airplay of a particular song or artist on radio stations, streaming platforms, or other media outlets. This is an illegal practice because it is damaging to independent artists and small labels. It hurts the integrity of the music business. And under US law, a radio station must disclose songs that they were paid to play on their air as sponsored airtime. And this is really interesting because when I did my No Me Da La Gana tour, I did it in Puerto Rico. And of course, I did pay an amazing publicist in Puerto Rico. And a radio, they're not called radio publicists. They're called radio promoters. That's what it's called. Called me and said, you know what? I've seen you on TV a lot because she did such a good job. I was literally like for 2 weeks in all the TVs in Puerto Rico.
Oh, wow.
And so a lot of people started like to get to know me, like, oh my gosh, I know who you are. I saw you on TV, like that. Like people started to get to know me very well. And he's like, oh, you know, it's good that you're doing TV, but honestly, if they cannot listen to you in the radio, it's not going to go anywhere. People are going to forget about you. And I was like, you know what? That makes sense, you know? So I asked him, okay, just let me know, what can I do? I thought that he was going to help me out, you know, like out of the kindness of his heart, like we always say, right? And he was like, well, you know, I can try to put you on this radio station that does some salsa, whatever. And it's going to be around $5,000 to be played maybe once a day, maybe 3 times the most at a lower times for like a month. And
So
I
that's
was
another
like,
$5,000 on top of the publicist.
I was like, $5,000. And this is just 1 month. And again, they tell you a month is not enough because if you're going to get played 3 times or maybe once, you know, a day, at what time?
Yeah.
You know, when people are not listening.
true.
Probably.
So they taking your money and your people are not even listening anything, you know?
Yeah.
So I was very
So
disappointed
basically,
with
the
that.
more money you have, then they'll put you into more.
Oh yeah. Rotation. If I give him like maybe 30 grand, they'll be like, "Ooh, let's put this girl all the
Prime
time."
time.
And
Every 20
unfortunately,
minutes.
well, fortunately for me, or unfortunately, you know, that this is what you have to do. I was able to put my music for like 3 months in Dominican Republic, paying somebody like that. It's unfortunate, but I have to, you know, because I was like, oh, I want to get somewhere. If it's in another country because it's cheaper, I'm going to try.
Yeah.
And I paid, and you know, some people listened to me and everything, but I just didn't see that it was worth enough the money. But it's to show you that the industry, it's like it's very hard, and especially if you're a big artist and have a lot of money, you have a lot of power and a lot of influence. And what I've heard is that big artists pay, allegedly pay, to shut other artists off.
Right.
So let's say that, I don't know, this is just saying allegedly, let's say that Daddy Yankee goes and say, you know what? My competitor is Bad Bunny. I don't know. That's not true. I'm just saying. And he said, I'm going to talk to all the radio stations and I don't want anybody to be playing Bad Bunny and I'm going to give them, I don't know, 100,000 each. Do you think they're not going to do it? For $100,000?
100 grand sounds nice.
I'm thinking so.
Yeah.
You know, so, and that's been very controversial because that's what these artists have done during all these years that people don't know about. Like, no, there is no way, you know, and it's very hard if you're not famous, you know, for you to be listened to on the radio because there is no way. I remember I had a friend in the radio station and he was like, man, we can put you in, you know, in a little bit here and there, but I hope I don't get in trouble. And you know, because people that really want to help, you know, good people out there that want to help, but at the end of the day, money talks, you know. And
sounds like it's just a rigged system that the elites, the people that are already established, are able to pretty much use and manipulate their positions to get paid as much as they can. And so it's super rigged against smaller up-and-coming artists, independent artists, where you either have to pay or pray that you get super lucky somehow.
If you have the following right now, like, I think that I wish when I was starting as an artist, I wish there was completely like social media like that, like it is now, because the more following you have, they're gonna want you. Like, there is this artist, which I don't remember his name. I was trying to find him so I could show you guys, but I do not remember his name. But he got big by that. Like, he was so good, honestly. He was really good at talking to his audience and everything. He's an artist, and he was telling his fans, he got to like millions of views, he got to like millions of followers, and he was just exposing how hard it is to be a music artist. And he's controversial. I don't agree with a lot of things he does.
I know who you're talking about. Can I guess real quick?
I just don't remember his name.
Tom McDonald?
Is it? I don't remember.
That sounds familiar.
Is it a white rapper dude?
Yeah.
With the not cornrows, but he like braids his hair.
I don't think
and he has some tattoos. Well, he is very controversial, and
like politics and all that stuff. I don't like it at all.
The whole system was rigged against him, and they were trying to keep him down, and they kept trying to like keep him off the charts, even though he was number one. They wouldn't put him on there.
But the thing is that he got there by himself.
That's why they were trying to like make it look like he was nobody.
Exactly. And it's insane because he was telling the fans, call this radio station and ask for my song. Call this radio station. And people were doing it. And they were like, who the heck is this guy? I don't want to put somebody that nobody knows. It's insane how the system is. But the crazy thing is that he had showed to his fans, and he had like emails from big labels telling them, oh, I paid you I don't know how many millions for you to sign with us. So that shows you that you need to be that big for actually labels to go after you.
Yeah.
At least with that kind of money, you know, hey, I pay you millions and millions, because you can get, you know, there's like independent labels out there. But I'm talking about like the big people. They're like, oh, wait a minute, how is this guy doing all this stuff by himself? And it's crazy because back in the days, the labels used to go and check artists out and like search for artists, you know, go to, oh, I'm going to see this girl sing and see what she can, you know, bring to the table. And then let me pay her this much to sign with me.
Right.
Now it's kind of like, let me see. Okay, you're good. Let me see your following. Ooh, only 70,000. No, I can't do it. Oh, you have 1 million? You did all that by yourself? So we have to work harder now as an artist. You have to be, it's almost like you need to be your own, like me, editor, your own manager, your own graphic designer,
right.
You know, like your own everything, just to be able to, people to like believe that your credibility is there. Yeah. It's almost like you have to work double or triple for them to even notice you, and I think it's insane.
Yeah, I feel like they have rigged the system to a point because they kind of know what works and what doesn't work through the years, and now it's at a point where the people that make it big, let's use an example of Sexy Red or Ice Spice, right? These two just blew up out of nowhere, right? It's not because they did it by themselves. What happened was they were made some sort of a deal behind the scenes, and in exchange they get pushed. They get this mega giant push from the machine, you know, this music machine, and boom, now they're huge, right? Yeah. But it wasn't like organic or authentic.
No.
Yeah.
And so they're making it harder and harder for an independent artist like Tom McDonald to actually come up, but it still can happen. but it's just really, really
we
hard
have
now.
to work so much.
Yeah, you have to be an influencer. You have to be a content creator. You have to, like you said, an editor. You have to do all these jobs just to be a music artist and do music like
full time or whatever.
Full time, yeah.
And it's crazy because before, all you gotta worry about is singing your right song and not forgetting your lyrics.
So if now we have to be everything, what is it going to be like in 10 years from now, 15 years from now? Like,
how do they even...
What are we going to need to do to, become
we're going to have to
music artist?
Put our own record labels out there. I mean, I don't even know because we have to do everything ourselves.
Well, it's like competing
we are our own publicists too.
Well, it's like competing with okay, so think about McDonald's, right? What do you think the odds of some mom and pop little burger stand trying to be competitive with McDonald's and actually start to rival them? It'd be almost impossible now, right? Because they have a monopoly. And so that's what the music industry, these big labels have a monopoly now. So it's getting next to impossible for us to come up with our own record label would be almost impossible. I think it would take like a miracle. And so 10 years from now, it's probably going to be even harder.
Yeah.
And to be a Tom McDonald in today's day and age, I mean, for every one successful guy that came up by himself, there's probably a million others that are super equally talented that you never heard of.
Yeah.
Yep.
And out of a sudden you hear about this name. I'm like, who is that? And they probably just pay their way in, and it's crazy. So, and talking about payola as well and pay for play. So a recent report of Rolling Stone published an expose where they aired out the teams of a number of top-selling artists. So according to the publication, these artist labels have been making shady deals with certain radio stations. And these are reportedly the artists. So this is Shawn Mendes, Dua Lipa, Halsey, Ellie Goulding, 5 Seconds of Summer, Ed Sheeran, and Panic at the Disco. So the publication claims that they obtained over 2,500 text messages between various industry professionals and Steve Zapp, an independent radio promoter that they used, I guess, with MCA Records, Virgin Records, and Warner Records. So the radio promoter was allegedly very explicit when record companies refused to pay to play the music. So that's how you can see that even big artists...
I actually like those artists too.
Well, the artists have nothing to do with it. They actually say that they have no idea,
Right.
Is the radio promoter kind of being shady, and be like, you better freaking play this song, and I guess it was like really bad.
Man, I'm not surprised though, because this even goes back to the early MTV days. They actually like kept Michael Jackson off the MTV in general at first, until people finally were like, what is going on? Why are you guys keeping the biggest star on the planet off MTV? So they kind of they all kind of band together, people in the music industry, and finally they caved in and they're like, oh, okay, and they put Michael Jackson on. So it's almost like you have to confront it or it's just going to keep happening.
Right.
Exactly.
But I don't think enough people even know this is happening.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring it up today, because people don't know that how expensive it is and how many people you have to pay to be able to like go somewhere. I wanted to bring it up because I'm like, this is crazy. This is what's really, really happening in the music industry. So I was like, this is a good, thing to bring up, specifically because, it's a lot harder for us artists that are going through this and things like that. So
it definitely needs a spotlight for sure, because it's going under the radar. I never even considered that would be a possibility, especially today's day and age, but we just got to keep talking about it and definitely start talking with our other people within the music industry to get some sort of a pushback or a group of people that are all together on it.
Yeah. Did you know that some artists, because this is another thing, when you are a small artist or independent artist that are starting, they don't even want to pay you.
Right.
They don't think you're even worth enough for your talent to even do like festivals and things like that. Trust me, that happens to me all the time. Oh, you're an upcoming artist. People don't really want to hear you. So for that, you're going to either have to pay me to perform,
right? Yeah.
Or it's going to be completely free. And it's like, I'm supposed to be paying you for my talent. I have my whole band to pay for. So there's no way I'm going to do this for free. Like, what do you think we are? And I have done it many times because maybe it's because I'm opening for a big artist, or it's because, the platform is there. So you feel like you have to do it. And did you know that artists that perform in the Super Bowl, they don't get paid sometimes?
I heard of that.
Isn't it crazy?
I'm not
I think
surprised
Usher
by
said
that.
that too, that he didn't get paid for his show. And I'm like,
But that is enormous amount of exposure.
exactly.
I mean, everyone in
is.
America is watching the Super Bowl.
I'm sure there's
Right.
times where it makes sense to do it, but there's going to be a lot of times where you should be getting paid for what you're doing, because most of the time that's not going to be the case. Like, go play at a fair or whatever the thing is, and you have to pay. No.
You had to pay to be there?
That's
exactly.
crazy to me.
Yeah, because I think The Weeknd, didn't he have to pay to actually play there? That's what I've heard. I mean, we don't know exactly, but I think he mentioned something like that he needed to pay to be able to play instead, because I don't know, maybe he didn't.
I believe so, yeah, because of the production, the dance, the whole thing, the whole show.
Yeah, and it's just crazy because they don't want to pay artists what they, for their talent. They just want to exploit us, and then we have to pay our way in. So it's really, really hard. I just wanted to open your eyes for the audience and know how
want to open
hard
them.
it is. Yeah. So
You can delete that later.
no, I didn't even hear what you just said. So that's a good thing.
Okay, good.
But just for people to know what we go through. So do you guys have anything else to add? Because I think we're coming to the end of this discussion.
Well,
there's a lot more to talk about because we forgot to talk about butts.
Yeah, bots.
Bots.
Not butts, like
Well,
we
we can
did in the
talk-
other episode.
Hey,
The other
listen,
episode we were
we can
talking
talk
about,
about
but now
butts for a
we're...
bit.
My
well.
accent can make you think that I said something that I didn't. So
Well,
how do you...
who
Okay,
has
let's
the-
spell it out. BOTS. There you go.
Yeah,
So, butts.
So what is... So what are bots? Explain
yeah,
to
please
the people.
tell us.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I actually have a friend that is in the music industry that he's been in it for quite some time, and he signed to this label, and he was very excited about it, and I was excited for him as well. And it was all legit, like it all sounded legit and authentic. I was like, dude, you're about to blow up. This everything looks official about this thing. But then he called me one day. He goes, man, I got a weird feeling about this thing. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, check out this country girl / pop singer. I'm going to send you the link. And he sent me the video. He's like, tell me what you think. I listened to it, and it was possibly the worst thing I've ever heard. But it had 200,000 views. And I'm like, wait, what is this? And then I started looking at more videos, and I just kind of followed that rabbit hole. It was just the worst stuff. I mean, each song got worse and worse, and the videos were terrible. And I'm like, how are these people getting hundreds of thousands of views? And it's so bad.
Yep.
And so I started looking at the comments, and a lot of the comments were like different countries, different languages. And it was like, we're your number one fan, or you're the best, or like over and over and over. I'm like, okay, this doesn't seem right. So as we did more research, it turned out that they were bots.
Which is
And-
like fake, basically. Fake followers, fake... just fake
It's to
comments.
inflate the numbers
Fake
to
account and her profiles,
Right.
commenting and listening, and
And what it does is it inflates the numbers to give it a certain appearance that
Yeah.
this is big, this is legit. And because, if you see that, I was instantly like, 200,000 views. She's
and
legit.
he paid for that, right?
Yes.
Well,
So-
when you see those number of views, you give it an extra listen and
Right.
extra effort. You're like, oh, okay.
It must be good.
Yeah, it must be
or he's
good.
going somewhere.
Right.
yeah, exactly. And so the person that he got signed by, the head of the record label that he got signed by, apparently he makes a lot of money by bringing in artists that want to appear a certain way. But he also it's mixed in with some really legit top quality artists. So that's why when we first heard about it, it looked real authentic. Like I was like, hey, this is all legit, man. Except for, half the artists are as bad as you can imagine. Like
They're just
terrible.
paying,
They're paying for it, for all these fake views.
That
and
is
so
crazy.
apparently this is happening with even some big time artists. 6ix9ine,
6ix9ine,
anyway, so he kind of exposed this a while ago as well. He's like, a lot of these people that are number one, are up in the top 10 charts. A lot of them, if you really look at it, they paid to get up there, and
There's always
nobody knows who
a
they
way
are.
to cheat the system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have paid to be promoted like in YouTube views and things like that and like Spotify, but I never knew they were fake. When they read it to you, they're like, oh, this is so good. You're going to get a lot of fans. And then I'm like, what country is that?
Yeah.
Is that even in the map?
They use the word organic.
Yeah, they say organic, but
But-
is it real organic? And this is
Right.
why it's so influential when you have a lot of followers and things like that. That's why it's crazy that artists, we have to like be paying all these fake things so we can get somewhere.
Yeah,
That's
and
so
I'm
sad.
and I'm serious. I'm gonna do all that stuff. I'm gonna pay. I'm gonna pay to play. I'm gonna get millions of fake followers, and I'm gonna.
Where are you gonna get the money from? I want it.
I'm gonna go do. I'm starting an OnlyFans.
Oh, okay. There you go.
There really good filter.
That might be the answer of all our problems.
Yeah, you guys.
The Judah OnlyFans account.
You know,
Oh my gosh,
that
it's
would
gonna be
be the
great.
answer of all our problems. We just do that on the side, put a bag in our heads, and then we make money that way, and then we invest it in the music industry. Maybe we'll make it, you know.
We just put a mask on. That's it.
Absolutely. Well, I was gonna use these filters, so
maybe my feet. Nobody want to see my feet.
I think that's
but
not
I
a
heard
bad idea.
some people like it.
That's
So.
people like my feet. They go, "You got those Hobbit feet, you know, really wide."
How do we get from pay for play to an
If anyone
OnlyFans?
likes feet
I
out
don't
there,
know.
let us know in the comments.
Let us know. We got you covered on the feet.
Yeah, I'm gonna start charging for pictures for my feet. So I think this is enough for today. It was really good information about
Yes.
how it influences the money influences the music industry. Thank you so much for watching today. Our next episode, it's gonna be a second part on the controversial rumors.
Yes.
Of the conspiracy theories. Why?
man.
Because you guys have sent me a lot of messages and DMs about how much you like that episode and how much more it's happening right now in the world that we need to address.
Yes.
It feels like
Recent
there is-
stuff.
Yeah, it feels like you need a part 2, part 3, part 4
Oh
because
my
it's just
gosh.
never ending.
We're gonna go down the rabbit hole together.
yes.
And by the way, what we just covered, I would love to see some comments on what they think about this whole pay to play thing. Because
Yes.
what are your guys' opinions on that? You guys think it's fair? Does it sound like unfair? To me personally, it sounds kind of unfair.
It's definitely
'Cause you gotta
unfair.
have
Yeah.
those Benjamins to do it.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying. It's all
And
about the money, and if you don't have it,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to really
You're
grow
gonna
up
have to
your
start
social
a-
media or OnlyFans.
OnlyFans for
that's
sure
right.
is what I would do. But yeah, let's go down the rabbit hole. I think that'll be fun.
Let's do it.
Yeah, remember part 2 of rumors and conspiracy theories in the music industry. We'll see you next time.
Smash that like
That's
button.
right. Subscribe, guys, and
Share
we'll see
it
you
with your
next
friends.
time.
See you next time.
Woo!
Boom.